Hey folks, Lindsay Huddleston back in the building. Sports Psychology Solutions with another SPS mental health moment. Got a great young man I'm happy to be able to get a hold of. I know everyone's kind of available right now, but he's busy. He's a college student at Bowling Green State in the state of Ohio, correct?
Yes, sir.
My man Karl Brooks representing. I had a chance to meet him several years ago when he was a student athlete at Sexton High School in Lansing. I was a budding sports psychology consultant embedded with his team for the entire season. Shout out to Coach Dan Bogan, former head coach, now coached by Coach Davis over there, who's going to be on the platform. Karl, how are you doing being back in Lansing right now?
Now I'm doing good. It's always good to come back to the family,
Come back
hang out with you. Yeah, it's good.
Time goes quick, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. Time flies.
I mean, you were just there at the high school a while ago. You guys were pushing hard to get through the season. One of those two-way players going back and forth, working really hard. And now, number 44, defensive lineman, correct? Representing, huh?
Yes, sir, I am. D-line.
So go back to your high school self when we got to know each other, whether it's being on the field, practicing games, or the weight room, and talk about where you are right now and what has been the growth for you as a college student athlete.
Man, definitely the connections I made in high school really helped me and boosted me to get where I am today. To Coach Davis, from my teachers in Sexton, Miss Nash. My dad always told me it takes a village to raise a kid. At first, I didn't know what he was talking about, but as I got older, I understood what he was talking about. But it was just an extremely hard work, grind, school-wise, football, and it was fun too at the time. So it was definitely hard work to get where I am today.
Yeah, and you're doing really well, man. I'm really proud of you and what's going on. So what can you tell other young people out there, whether they're high school players now who want to get the opportunity like you have, other college players who are trying to get the notoriety that you're getting? You know, what kind of advice can you give them right now, especially when everything is kind of put on hold? Because you would have probably already played your first spring game by now, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir, we have. We would have. I would say to the high schoolers, buy into everything that coaches are telling you, teachers are telling you. You got to make a lot of sacrifice at this age. So if you got to cut off friends, to get where you want to go, that's something that's going to have to be done. Just watching who you hang around, stay in the right path, and really just listen to your parents because they know right from wrong.
Listen to all this wisdom Karl is dropping right here, man. I mean, you're saying the right thing, but it seemed like everything you said, not necessarily you, because you were always a positive young man. It's like everything you're saying is what young people fight against so much. They don't want to buy into the coaches. Oh, coach don't know what he's talking about. They got other people in their ear. They got friends around them who may be toxic, but they still hang. And then, of course, parents who've been with you since day one, they don't support what the parents are saying. Why do you think so many young people don't buy in and don't listen to the people who are around them who've been supporting them?
I would say they wouldn't buy in because it's a boring lifestyle, ain't no fun into it till you get where you at. It's hard for kids, 14 through 18, let's just say, that's trying to get to that next level. They don't know how to cut off their fun, I would say, with their friends and partying and all this. It's just you have to cut it off if you want to be great.
Wow. I mean, I think that's something to be said. How old are you now, Karl?
I'm 19, turning 20 on the 8th.
Okay. Big birthday coming up in a minute, but just, that maturity that you're sharing right now, man. So what has it been like? You aren't able to be with your teammates right now. You're kind of on this quarantine. How have you been dealing with that?
It's been tough because, you build bonds with those guys since day one. So we still communicate, it's a FaceTime call away or a phone call away, check up on each other. We bond with each other, we play video games, we just always communicating, it's just something that we do. I don't know, it's just come second nature. And I do miss my guys a lot, but at the same time, we still communicating every day. I just can't physically see them, that's all.
Yeah, I get it. Every young player's dream is in high school is to play Division I ball, and you're doing that right now. Talk about the difference between being a great high school player and what's expected of you as a Division I athlete.
Can you repeat that question for me?
Yeah, talk about, coming from being a high school player, being good, but then
hmm
what's really expected of you when you become a Division I athlete?
So just being great in high school, of course, and then when you get into that next level, it's the little things that count because you're surrounded by the number one guy on their high school team. So you just got to find out the little things that makes you different and separate you. So if that's getting extra film work or staying on the field after and whatever position you work, working your hands if you're a D lineman, working on some throws if you're a QB. It's just the little details and eating right, staying away from the drugs and the alcohol. It's just stuff like that that will really separate you at the next level.
I mean, and all those things once you get to college, like I would tell all high school players, college is like high school, except there's no adults around and everybody live at the same place. So you got to be really disciplined. How do you keep your discipline?
It's been a dream of mine. I want it so bad that I don't get distracted. I'm always eating right, when I'm at school. Um, Good grades, always, of course, because my parents will not allow me not to. Uh,
Shout out to
and
your parents.
yeah, shout out to the parents. I just stay around football as much as I can. If I'm watching film in my dorm, I'm watching film at the stadium. I'm just staying active in a positive way and just don't get distracted. I know it's easy to say, hard to do, but that's just something that I just do. It's kind of natural.
Yeah, I mean, but the key thing you said you got a dream. It's something that you really wanted, and you look back on high school with all these different distractions. And I thought it was really interesting. You talked about how you got to do the little things. I mean, do your coaches motivate you? Or are you responsible for motivating yourself?
Hey, my coach is always telling you, you got to motivate yourself. You ain't in the right sport, so you definitely got to be self motivated in this football game. You shouldn't have nobody in your ear asking you to get ready for a game or anything like that because that's just something you love. So I feel you should be self motivated and self driven at that next level. Cause
Very good. So, not to say it happens at your school, but when you like watch the news or social media and you hear about college athletes getting into trouble, which happens, but then you hear about the repeated stories about things. What do you think is going on with athletes who seem to continuously get in trouble and make more headlines off the field or off the court than actually playing the sport?
I really don't have the answer to that one. It's just, you never know what's going on in somebody's life. You never know what's going on personally. So I really can't speak on that.
That's fair. That's fair. So speaking of that, we talk about mental health on all these calls. I've been telling people about a great resource called the Crisis Text Hotline. That is a crisis text hotline. You can text 741-741 and someone can respond
Mm-hmm.
if you're having a mental health crisis. Is mental health something that's talked about on the college campus amongst your peers? And I'm not trying to call out your school, your
Yeah,
team, or your friends, but what do you think about that?
I mean, it's something so serious that can ruin somebody's future and their career. BG does a great job. You know what I'm saying? We have a life coach we can go to and talk to. He's a great guy. Uh, shout out to Dr. Brown, DB. He's just a good dude. You go talk to him about your problem, get it off your chest, and you can also talk to your football brothers because they there for you too. We got a great coaching staff. They there for you. It's just so many resources that you can go and talk to. You're just not alone in that process.
It seems like you found a really good fit for where you are. I keep hearing you talking about your teammates, being around them, being in the facility. Because so many young people, it seems that they get this transfer mentality and they kind of, move away. Talk about Bowling Green and what's so unique about that place that made that be home for you and makes you so happy there.
I just fell in love with the coaching staff. They're great guys. I love everybody there. It's just a family-based school. You got help everywhere. The professors are great. Um, my academic advisor is great. They work with me. I work with them, and it's just a great fit for me. I'm not speaking on anybody else, but you never know. But it's a great fit for me, and I'm doing well. So
Oh, that's great, man. I'm so happy to hear that. So if you can go back to your freshman year in high school, what advice would you give your freshman self then that will help you right now?
man, staying on top of my work early, staying in the weight room as much as I can, and just constantly working my craft. Because if I would have worked my craft at an early technique, there's no telling how good I could have been. I'm not saying that I didn't, but just working hard as you can your freshman year, putting it all up on the line, and just keep stacking days. That's what I really would say.
I got you. Karl, I'm so happy that we had a chance to talk, man. I'm just really seeing, you beaming, I'm almost reminded of how, positive of a young man you were, how silly you were too, hanging out and whatnot. But you're growing to a very mature young man. You have anything else you want to share for your peers, your family, your friends, or any young person who just may be trying to get where you are before we sign off this call?
I would say just always chase your dreams. Keep your head down. Keep the pedal on the floor. Just keep going. Do the best that you can do. Work hard as you can work, and you're gonna have great outcomes.
Oh man, so impressed. Well, this is definitely going to be a positive influence on someone. We got Mr. Karl Brooks here, Bowling Green State University, the Falcons representing. Thanks for coming on, man, and I'll be sure to get this out and share this message. I know it's going to help somebody.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Karl.
Yes, sir.
Okay.